Hi and welcome, hope you're all doing well. In this video we will go through some different techniques and ways in how to paint a beautiful sunny sky beach painting. I will not speed up this video, so hopefully you can follow along the way and do what I do. That's a very good way to learn, at least I've experienced that that's a good way for me to learn, so hopefully it will help you as well. Let's go paint! I'm Miriam, an artist residing in beautiful Denmark. I do paintings in watercolor, gouache, acrylics, well, pretty much any medium I can lay my hands on. I'm here to help you learn how to make beautiful paintings and learn different skills in mainly watercolor but also mixed media. Come, join me and let's paint some beautiful paintings together. If I can do it, you can do it. And here we go. I begin with wetting the lower half of the sky with my big calligraphy brush. And then after that I wet the lower part of the beach because the beach water on the beach will reflect the sky. And I begin with the lightest color in the sky, which is the yellow ochre. So I put it in where I've just wet the paper. I make different brush strokes because this is a cloudy sky, so it won't be nice and even. And then it's in with the ultramarine blue. And I sort of swipe the brush to make the sky interesting. And I let it blend in a little bit with the yellow ochre. And now I put some of that color down on the beach as well, because the sky is reflected on the beach because of the water there. And now I dry off my brush a bit and lift off some of the paint because the sun beams in the beach is a bit lighter. So just dry off your brush and lift up and make some marks as it will look like sunbeams. And now I do sort of the same thing in the sky, but this is to make the clouds in the sky. I dry off my brush in a paper towel and then I lift off paint in the sky, and this will look like the white clouds. I make sure to use my brush in different ways to make different marks, so it won't be very even because clouds are not even, they are very uneven. And then I put in some more blue colors where I have not lifted off paint. This will make the white places where the clouds are stand out some more. And then I tilt the board to make the paint run together. And this is to create an uneven sky that looks more natural. I really love this effect. It makes the sky quite interesting. Since watercolor dries up lighter than when it's wet, I decided to put in some more yellow ochre in the sky, so it will be a bit darker when it dries up. I make sure to avoid where the sun is in the sky, because this will be the lightest part of the painting. There'll be a little swipe through the sun, but not very much. And now I go in with some phthalo blue in the water. And I begin with quite a light wash, because we can always build more color in. And my board is a little bit tilted, so paint keeps running down in my sun, so I have to take off some of the paint. But it's just nice to work with the board tilted. It gives a nice effect on the rest of the painting, and I'll just have to lift some of the paint off that runs into the sun. And now I go in with a darker blue under the clouds, just to define the clouds some more. It really helps the white in the sky to pop, or in the clouds to pop, when you put a darker color underneath. Now it's time to take a nice break. Grab yourself a nice cup of coffee or a good cup of tea, and then we will let everything dry. And when it's dry, we can come back and see how everything looks, and then we will continue working on the painting. I begin with wetting the sky a little bit here to begin with, because I want to put in some more colors. This will be the yellow ochre. I want to make some more definition in the sky. And I put on color and then I lift some off and just see along the way what I think the sky needs. But I definitely think it needs a bit more color. And now I go in with the phthalo blue and the sea, and I make some long strokes. It's not very often that the sea is completely still. There will always be some movement, and that's why I make the long strokes. And I leave in wide spots in the sea, and this will make it look like waves. And here I've changed into a smaller brush because that will allow me to make some finer strokes in the water. Please let me know in the comments if you like the videos to be real-time, or if you prefer more talking or less talking. I would really love to hear. go in and wet the beach, and I make sure to avoid the sunbeams on the beach or the sunlight on the beach, because I don't want any more colors there right now. And now I go in with a darker color under the waves, because that will really make the water look more natural. And I put the darker colors at the bottom of the waves, if you can say that, under the foam of the waves, because here the water will most often be darker. And I would really love to encourage you to, after you have finished this painting, to find your own reference photo and try and make a painting of your own. You can go to a page called Unsplash, and because these are royalty-free photos that you can use, and it's such a good thing to do after you have learned something, to try and do it on your own. And please don't lose heart if you don't succeed in the first, in the beginning, because it takes some practice to get the things right. So please don't give up. And as I say in the intro, if I can do it, you can do it. I was very new to watercolor just a few years ago, I've already learned so much, and this only comes with practice and sometimes to fail and make some ugly paintings. But you know, it helps you because you learn from your mistakes, and that's really a very valuable lesson. So please don't give up just because it doesn't look like you want it to look, because there's a lesson learned every time. And now I go in with some darker paints, and this is the horizontal line, because that will separate the sky from the sea, and it has to be darker. Every time you look out, you will see that it's darker in the horizon. So this is quite important to have this in the painting. And now I put in some more colors on the beach. That will also help make definition in the painting. And it can be, in my opinion, too light, and it can also be too dark. So, and I put on color, and then I wet the brush and soften the edges. And that I do almost every time I put color on the paper. I try not to make hard edges, because that doesn't look so natural. More darks in the sea. And this is a strong color mix, because I really want the dark to be very dark. Oh, can you see how the ocean is popping up right now, and the waves become alive? And yeah, and I go in with some small strokes with quite a good deal of color in, and this is because there's reflection in the water, and it shifts between light and dark. So I put in some small dark lines, because that will help the water to look more like water. now I go in with some white gouache just to put some white back in the painting. You don't have to do it, but if you want to, you can. It can help just define it a little bit more. And gouache is actually watercolor, but it's opaque instead of transparent. However, if you water it down quite a bit, it will be transparent. And now I go in with some yellow ochre in the bottom of the clouds because the sun is reflected in the clouds. Now it's time to draw in the birds that is going to be in the sky, and I do that with a pencil first because I don't want to take any chances, because it's quite difficult to reverse if you get it wrong, because we are going in with a dark watercolor to paint the birds. And now I have grabbed my small brush and I go in with the Jane's Gray and paint in the birds we have just drawn in. So with the painting finished, it's time to remove the masking tape. Please consider subscribing to this channel if you want to see more videos. If you hit the bell downstairs or down below, you will get a notification when I have uploaded some new videos. Thank you very much for painting with me today. Hope you have a very nice day, and remember to make your own painting as well. Find your own reference photo and make your own painting and practice what you've just learned. Put in your name and hang it on the wall. Thank you for now.